Hello, hello. Sorry about that. My mic all of a sudden just stopped, but we've got it rolling. And today we are going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers. There's some stuff, like there is so much going on. We have information saturation. And we all have the same interest at heart, which is to find him, to figure out what has happened, to get resolved, to help him in any way possible. Welcome to 1111, everybody's favorite true crime voice on the YouTube streets. Now, I have an all star panel with me tonight. Now, if you are watching a replay of this live, I encourage you to use that replay fast forward button as much as your heart desires. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for having the time, sharing your time, your love, and your dedication to finding Sebastian by watching replay. So, hello, Interior Family Studios, Jillian, Lucy Lou, Beverly Ward. Hello to everybody. You want new information? Okay, there is so much to talk about, and there's some new stuff too. There is so much to talk about. It's like popcorn, right? That's my popcorn. That's just me making that noise. But I'm just saying, it literally is popping out there. So I want to give a shout out to another channel called Cluematic. They're boots on the ground. They're trying to do their best. They're working hard for Sebastian Rogers. I mean, it's they're doing a really good job of trying to stay unbiased, trying to be part of the search, doing whatever they can, including getting flyers out there, spreading the word. Just a big hats off to them. I'm really impressed with Cinematic. Um, so, with that being said, I don't know how, but she has some of the dispatch calls. And in that, guess what? They do not find neighbor ring cam that has proof of life of Sebastian. Keep in mind, it's very dark. They cannot see. And regardless of what they said on Nancy Grace about the lights always being on, the two by the garage, we had heard for every interview prior, there were no lights on outside that night. We thought that the motion sensor was broke for that night. Turns out there are switches. They are literally shut off for the night. Why? Hmm. Could it be? They are very aware because this individual does tech for a living of computer analysis, computer whatever. Like, I think it's where you go into the computer and you install the programs for the security that the install person came and did. Like, you're just hooking it up to that person's electronical house data, right? I think that's what she does. So she should be very aware of all about the security, but there's no cameras in the home or on the outside of the home. It is absolutely pitch black, and that's why she did not, in my opinion, remember the two garage lights. Because all she could remember, because she was thinking about that night, she knew the only thing on in that entire yard was her little tiny solar lights in her garden, right? So, how did a camera prove it, Sebastian? No officer of the law is going to tell anybody anything with certainty about what they're seeing in almost night vision. Okay, it's a person with a hoodie. I don't know who that is. I don't know if it's mom. I don't know if it's Sebastian. It's movement. And how good is it? Night vision, when you're on a door cam or whatever, is going to record your front porch really good, right? It may even record the cars passing by. But if you're telling me at night it's going to record on a waning moon, which is a sliver left, I mean, a tiny sliver with no lights on, who it is, I doubt it. My best guess is it'll record motion. So then we have to go back and look at it and go, wait a minute. Law enforcement has actually stated, and they have it posted at their TBI Amber Alert page, up to date, that the last sighting of anybody besides mom of Sebastian is allegedly at this BJ's, or I can't remember what they called it. So no, we don't have anybody with footage. JLR has told us he has talked to a lot of the neighbors, which I personally would not bother anybody. If I was investigating, I would, if they were coming up to me to talk, yeah, sure. But I just wouldn't, I mean, that's their home. If I'm out gardening, I don't want nobody talking to me. Okay? I will approach. I would be the kind that would approach and be like, this is what I know. You know, I'd be the one. I probably wouldn't be home if I was a neighbor because that means I'd be local. I'd be boots on the ground. Hey, Tarot Destiny. Welcome, lovely. That reminds me, you guys, our true crime mama over there on our tarot channel has taken off like a fireball. It's doing amazing, wonderful. But I want to say sorry to you guys because I hit the wrong button on YouTube and I thought I had scheduled that video to come up after this live. Nope. I get a notification that it went out at midnight last night. So sorry about that to everybody. It still is doing incredible. It is reading with Mr. Chris and Sebastian, and it is jaw-dropping. Jaw-dropping. But if that's not your thing, stay over here with me. We're going to keep going. Hey, Canadian True Crime Buff. How you doing, lovely? Hey, Joyful Windy City. Phoenix Badar, welcome to 1111. You say, I know the Proudfoots are acting very sus, but we need to focus on finding Sebastian. All right. So, the last time that he was spotted would be in public. Now, allegedly, there is some sort of dash cam that recorded Sebastian's voice in the vehicle while it was heading in the direction of the home, but we have no idea where Miss Proudfoot went. But let me walk you through this. The dogs on the dispatch call, allegedly from what the dispatcher is receiving for information from one of the boots on the ground LE, is stating that the dog not only hit and followed the path to the retention pond, but that it dove in the retention pond. Boom. Popcorn. Just saying. It's popping like popcorn. Now remember, I've been telling y'all, it was a couple weeks prior to Sebastian going missing. Seth, the real father, I'm not going to call him bio dad. He's not a animatronic. He's a real dad. Was told by the mother, Katie, Sebastian needs new shoes. Those other shoes don't fit him. Now, prior to this, Katie has allegedly told Seth that there's problems between her and Chris, the stepfather. And we know from Chris, the stepfather, that there's some problem with Sebastian and his daughter being under the same roof, that they can't be together. And so obviously this is true. There's some disconnect between Katie and the stepdad. Allegedly there was an ultimatum put on the table. And allegedly Chris Proudfoot said to Katie, it's either me or Sebastian, and I highly recommend you choose your son. And I could see him saying that. That is fitting. And did Katie make a choice? And did she think this through? Did she remove all the cameras in the house? Did she turn the lights out that night? Did she save that old pair of tennis shoes that he outgrew, which maybe was a size 10, and ran out that back door where there's no lights with a little click click flashlight and ran around to the shed and then snuck off without the flashlight down and jumped in that retention pond and then threw them shoes away when she ran around looking for him allegedly in the morning. Did that happen? Because how do we know if we have no proof of life from any neighbor cam? And sure, that woman's like, allegedly told somebody's source that I think it was Sweetie Pilo, which I adore. She's just adorable. Very, very interesting program. Not everything I agree with, such as this. This neighbor allegedly handed over footage of the door cam saying that she didn't see it, but the cop confirmed that, yep, Sebastian was out taking out the garbage. I don't buy that at all. One, they're not going to confirm anything. Nothing. We know that. They keep everything tight to the vest. They're going to say, thank you for the door cam. Was it useful? Sure. Yep. That's all. Was it useful? Yep. Whether they're going to use it or not, or there's anything on it, yes. Because they want to make it feel helpful, right? The person never saw it. It's going to be dark. It's going to be grainy. It's going to be night vision. We're going to see some movement. Are we going to be able to tell if it's Sebastian or does somebody just in a dark hoodie, all black, maybe with racing striped pants? And what is so heavy in that garbage it takes two men to lift it? Robin York Group, welcome to 1111 True Crime. Beverly Ward says he wanted Katie to leave. I guess I believe that. So let's play this out for a minute on a different way because that puts a whole new spin on things if he was like, I suggest you choose your son. Could he really have been innocent this entire time and literally be buying her story? Because she could have went home after whatever happened between the restaurant and home and been like, wait until 3 o'clock in the morning when she's alone to run around and do all this crap. Okay? She could have been on the phone with him pretending to talk to Sebastian, being like, Sebastian, get your room clean. Oh, he just drives me nuts sometimes. He won't listen. I know, baby, I know. Well, I sure do miss you. I wish you hadn't left at the beginning of the month. Why did he leave in the beginning of the month? Was it because he wasn't coming home? Because they were splitting up? Were they at that final point to where they're going to need some space to see how it goes? And Sebastian had been whipped with a belt. He's living with a controller. Would he not celebrate and clap at the idea? And autistic children are very honest, regardless of what these parents are accusing Sebastian of and saying that he lies. I think he's very direct. And I think Sebastian may have overheard a lot of this and been like, oh my golly, Mr. Chris is leaving. Oh well, Mommy, we're better off without him. Is that going to please Mom? She's looking at an ultimatum. Her breadwinner's walking out the dang door. What is she going to do? What is she going to do? Does she plan the best day ever and make it the last? Wide open spaces. Hey, Phoenix Badar says, love the narration. Oh, thank you, lovely. I'm just rolling with my thoughts. Bamalati87 says, and Katie was not going to have to pay support for Seth, who doesn't pay her support either. I don't think it had anything to do with that. I believe this was a lot of resentment. I think there was a lot of resentment of, you're the reason I'm losing my entire world and you're happy. And I think anger took over. And I think she started thinking about this a long time. I think she had a couple weeks to plan this out. And I think that's why there's no cameras, there's no motion detector, nothing. Very happy. Hello. Welcome, welcome. You say open CPS file at the end of January. Maybe that's why. He gave an ultimatum. There's a lot of timing to play here and a lot of interesting things on CPS because Chris says that he knew on, he said it on Smiley's World, Stories World. Smiley Stories World. Check her channel. Lovely woman. Beautiful creator. Great influencer. Truly enjoy her. And, Christopher Proudfoot was on there. And he brought it up that he knew this woman that was coming to his home. Mind you, he made sure we knew that it was actually when they were sitting down to eat dinner. As if how dare CPS show up while we're a civilized family that sit at a table and eat our dinner. Yet we have Katie Proudfoot who's like, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. Yeah, Sebastian was calling using his phone to brag that I made breakfast this morning and I'm the mommy. What? All he wants to do is snack. Look at this child's teeth. Not only are they spaced apart, but they look problematic. This isn't a mother that I think is nurturing this child with nutrition on a regular basis. I think there's two different sides here. And it makes me really, really wonder when I look at the photograph and there's three glasses in front of Sebastian at this last picture of him in the restaurant that is allegedly, supposedly rumored to be the last known photograph at the Roadhouse, which it could be not. Just saying. The boom is here. Yes, Brink's camera is getting installed now. Correct. Right? Because it's great advertisement for them. Well, and I'm sure that, this gave the mother a reason to leave because then she can say, like, whatever. I didn't want to cause the neighborhood so much distress. They're watching me, so, I've got to leave. Why Mississippi? Why? Because I felt like the mother, if the stepfather didn't know, she could play him like a damn fiddle. Literally make him think Sebastian left. Now we got a guy that's an arrogant asshole that's going to be hanging himself with a noose that she's handing him. And he has no idea. Because he's out here being the arrogant a-hole type behavior because that's just his personality. And in doing that, he could be unknowingly helping her. I'm just saying, we have to look at all possibilities. Oh, am I very low? Let me see. Is that better at all? Oh, thank you, Karen. Yes, we hit over 20,000. We're already on to 21. We are rocking the house. Y'all are. And everybody that said congrats, I want you to say, yay, we did it, because it was all of us. It was all of us. So the Stratford area. They are not saying that the last sighting, this is straight from TVI. They are not saying in That's a great question. Yay, we Oh, I'm sorry. Laura had the question. Um, where is Katie's family? Right? Thank you. I feel like we're dealing with somebody. I feel like that restaurant is usually a few, if this child is on medication. Now, I was a med tech for the state of Wisconsin. I will tell you, I had residents and patients that had prescribed medications with meal. So at supper time, you would give them a batch of medication. And some of it was to help them sleep by 8 or 9 o'clock. So it would be given with the meal in order to come on gradually, and that way they could get their shower and do all that stuff, but they slowly were getting groggy. Now keep in mind, she went to take him to eat, okay? My music is on? Huh, hold on. I don't have a clue. Hold on. Let me know when y'all can hear me. Hmm, I'm not seeing anything. It's off now. Okay, sorry guys. All right. So I have no idea what happened. I didn't even push a button. I am so sorry, lovely. Um, right. It only lasts for I think 13 seconds or 15 seconds, unless it was a closing one. I have no clue. You know what? I did close it so it was a long one. I'm so sorry, you guys. I do it at least once a week, right? Okay. So let's get back into this. So think about it, you guys. Oh, if this dog dove in that retention pond, okay, but there's no sighting of Sebastian making it home. It's not like they would have seen him get out of the car and walk into the house because she drives directly into the garage, shuts the doors, the lights are up. Nobody could see anything. There is no proof that this child came home. And all she's got to do is put on music of Minecraft in the background, be on the phone to Chris on speaker, and and if she planned it, she could literally have like recorded Sebastian at a previous time on a different little burner phone, say "Good night, Mr. Chris," and play that in that room, make some noise, and have Minecraft playing in the background. That kid's not even at home. Throw on some old tennis shoes of this kid, which is 15 years old, a size 10, my feet would be swimming in that, and clunk over to the little barn in my yard because that's what the dogs allegedly did, and then go down the little road and right to that construction pond and make sure I wear them shoes right in that little knee deep pond. Knee deep pond. And then just and then the dog tracked all the way back to the house. How about that one? You thought your TV flipped out? I don't know. I'm terrible with buttons, y'all. That's something you'll just have to love me or just give me patience. I mean, I pray for more strength to understand the electronics, but Lord, I'm doing good just using OBS. Kimberly Brummett says my grandson is autistic and he takes Zoloft. Exactly. Don Cassney, someone is playing music really loud, drowning you out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all y'all. I'm so sorry. Well, you know, Sebastian does love music. You just never know. Maybe he was trying to tell you something. Probably was saying freedom, freedom, right? Yeah. Don Castry says, yeah, it was. So when we're looking at all this, messages and posts and comments about all this ring cam and what happened that night in the house, somebody's got to prove to me this kid made it to the house. Because just because a dog picked up that scent, I don't trust the mother. There are no cameras. Those lights are off. She pulled in and went directly in the garage. She had an ultimatum, allegedly. Mr. Chris or her son. What do you think she chose? What are your thoughts? Hello, Michelle Eaton. You say I was thinking the music was Sebastian too. I'm just saying, I had no idea it was even playing. Really weird, huh? Hey, Jacob Locke. She might have bought new shoes when they went shopping, right? Very well could have. Kimberly Decker says, so, if they were such a happy family and CP loved Sebastian so much, why was he not traveling back on his days off when he was only 3 hours and 37 minutes from doorstep to doorstep? Boom! You got a star. Gold star at that. Oh, yeah, it's popcorn. I can't do it very good. Unspoken Heart Stillness, welcome to 1111 True Crime. You guys were doing great on time tonight. We're going to try to run this about 45 minutes. Someone said they put him in a swamp law. That why went to Mississippi. I saw logos. Does someone work in a lumber mill? Ooh, that was a little jumbled up, lovely. Maybe actually type it. It'll be easier to read. Medicine Tribe, welcome, lovely. Mom said during Nancy Grace interview after bowling, they went home and Sebastian took a shower before dinner because he smelled bad. That could be an omission. Like, when the whole situation smells bad. Hey, Pamela Tate, welcome to 1111. She did not say he took a shower or bath before bed. Right. That's right. She didn't. Roman Davis Ducksworth, welcome back. I haven't seen you in forever and a day. Maybe Katie is going to be free from both of the child and the stepdad. New life. Well, why are they in Mississippi? Because I got to thinking, if, for instance, this ultimatum is real, if there's truth to that, I don't believe Chris Proudfoot knows a damn thing. I believe he's an arrogant And I think he really buys her bull. I think he's buying her bull. And I think he's trying to protect her because he thinks maybe he feels guilty because he put an ultimatum on the table. And maybe he thinks Sebastian really ran off because he put the ultimatum on the table. So with that guilt, he's like, well, I caused this whole damn thing. I'm just saying we have to look at all corners. We cannot get tunnel vision. That is what ruins a bad investigation. Brown girl, welcome, lovely. You say, I don't think he wanted to be home. And you might be right. But why not go to real daddies? Southern Red, welcome, lovely. I love your name. It made me think of Old Red, right? I love it. Southern Red says, did any ring cam capture Sebastian supposedly taking trash out on Sunday night? The answer to this is controversial. What I know to be true, according to TBI at this time, is that the last sighting, other than Mom, was at BJ's with family members. That's it. So even if a law officer said, yeah, we think we got something, we still don't know. Because all we have is a source that said a chatty Cathy neighbor, a little chatty Catty, where this person's like, yeah. I didn't look at the footage. No. But LE said, yeah. They can see him. We don't have a clue who that is. That could be somebody that's in the game to not have Sebastian found. We have no idea. Because we don't know the source. We don't know the neighbor. And we don't know what that law enforcement said. And that is not being shared by anyone else. JLR has literally been in the neighborhood and spoken to these neighbors. Not one has seen this child that night. And let me explain something. Even if one neighbor thinks that the law enforcement is in agreement, the law enforcement might say that, to inform you that, yeah, we think we got something, but have no clue because they're not the ones that are going to be looking at the final picture to see who's really moving around near those garbage cans. Just thought. Bruce W. says, and someone will say something completely made up and a lie, and then 50 other people will jump, repeating it over and over. Amen. That's why I do YouTube, to just cut it off. So that 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 3,000, 10,000, well, actually, 20,000, 20, can actually hear it all at once, and we can sort out and learn to discern what is the truth, right? Rumsey says, and welcome to A Level Lemon True Crime. Katie hearing a thud, but the dogs never bark. Boom! Thud. Right? Gold star lovely. Nani McPop. Nani McPoppins. That's a fun name to say. Welcome back, lovely. Oh, nobody ever needs to apologize for coming in late or any of that because I'm just so happy that Sebastian's name is getting out there or whoever voiceless victim that we are working on their case gets more coverage. So thank you. Thank you. Now, you guys, we've got 15 minutes left. I like to give you that heads up. We're going to try to end at 45 minutes today, just so that it's easier for replay. But I want you to really think about what I'm giving you. What are you thinking about if there really is no proof of life of this child coming home? Then what? Where does that leave you? Where is Sebastian now? If we knew the time that this mother's car pulled in, we could gather the time of the restaurant, the time of her pulling into her home, and if we could get that timeline, if there's any way, like maybe it's 3 hours, we could divide it in half and go the opposite way from Memphis. And here's why. Because in her opinion, if she's thought this out, she's manipulating the guilt that the stepfather will feel because of the ultimatum. And now, look at what you did. I lost my son because of you. And maybe that's not being said, but that could be lingering and hanging in the air, in the tension, an unspoken kind of like, it's your fault. Now I'm your responsibility. Now you ain't going nowhere, money. You're my meal ticket. I don't have to impress you now because you bought my story that this is your fault. And that could be all the guilt we're picking up with him. I'm just saying. Really look at it. We have to look at all sides, including Sebastian's. And from Sebastian's view, I want you to leave me a comment down below if you're on replay and put it here. I'm going to read a few, okay, of what you think Sebastian's reaction would truly be if he found out that Mr. Chris was no longer going to be his stepdaddy. How would he react? And how would mom feel? Hey, Wilted Lettuce, aka Christina York. And the sheriff call wasn't recorded like the 911 call would have been. Correct. Like I said yesterday, in the Teresa Hallbach Stephen Avery saga, that case, wrongful conviction, by the way, in my opinion, 1000%. Stephen had a situation where he was suing $36 million case against the county. The Dennis Vogel and Tom Kasurik, the DA and the sheriff, personally suing them. State Farm had already said, nope, we're not going to pay a dime to cover you. That will be your own problem if there's one thing nefarious. Now, Colborn's a deputy that works for the DA and works for the sheriff, right? Listen, he needed to get in touch with dispatch to get his time figured out so that he could cover his butt because he's working off the clock, if you want to call it. What does he do? He calls the same kind of line that the Proudfoots three-wayed into because he knew it wasn't being recorded. There's nothing to play in court. On the 911 call, on the precipice now. I'm getting Letta Kostach, and I don't know that case. But Gannon Stotch was found, right? A suitcase over a bridge. I'm getting something. Just the vibes. How far could you go in an hour and a half? How far could you go? I'm just grabbing an hour and a half because that's all I can do is guess that they had supper and then they came home around 8-ish because he went to bed at 9. So I'm guessing they had supper around 5. I'm just guessing, literally educated guess, that they ate around 5. There was a little drive time there. There's 3-hour window is what I'm guessing at this point. We will get it tighter as we go. 3 hours, an hour and a half. How many miles can you go in an hour and a half? About 90. So 90 miles in any direction of her home. But I would lean away from Memphis because she's going to want to protect her meal ticket. That's the whole point. That's what her goal would be in this scenario. Rondi Potter says, I heard it was Chris say to pick up Son over him. I hadn't heard that. But we're going to hear all kinds of stuff, right? I'm not saying I'm right. That's for sure. You could be right, love. Medicine Tribe says St. Jude is a medical waste incarcerator. Oh my God. Medicine Tribe says St. Jude is the medical waste incinerator site for Tennessee. Sunday a.m. limited staff. Bad weather. Easy to drop away site straight down the chute while getting a vending copy. Lord. That reminds me of the Sika keynote over in the Steve Avery case where it said body burned in aluminum smelter 4 a.m. and it was just signed Sikkey. And that has stumped the world since 2005. Well, 2007, really. Just found on the conveyor belt. And it had Avery's name on it and the Manitowoc Sheriff's name on it. Terra Hope says Chris keeps his camper off-site. What if Sebastian and Katie went to visit Chris and something happened? And that's why there is no scent of Sebastian at the house or outside. Could he have made it? Could Katie have made it back from the restaurant? Well, she wouldn't have been seen. Wait a minute, you guys. We never see him. We never hear about anybody or ring cam or CCTV or anything from the restaurant. She could have made that up. The last known sighting was at BJ's. We might be looking at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock. We need a tighter timeline because if that is true, think how far she could have went. So let's put it back to, let's say, 2 o'clock. Okay? Let's just hypothetically pick that time, put a stake in the ground in this muddy marsh, and just hope it sticks for a minute, right? Hypothetically, in speculation, 2 to 8 p.m., 6 hours. She could darn near make it. As says, and hey, I'm just saying, 1,000 in chat, make it match. Thumbs up. I love you guys. Please do hit the thumbs up if you're in support of us continuing this case. I really, really appreciate it. There you go, Az. You're now my moderator. There's your wrench, love. A Libra Moon says, I'm not asking you to take them out of the world. John 17:15. Thank you, lovely. Dennis or Denise Becker, I think it's Denise. Did Chris say Cobbs said this will be the crime of the century and solved? Yes. Yes. Truly. Taurus 1965. Maybe that's when he'll be found or justice will. I pray. Let's do that. Let's take this last few minutes here to let's do a little prayer for Sebastian. All right? No matter what, whether you're religious or you're spiritual or you just want to put your energy. Maybe you're like, I just want to put some good energy towards Sebastian. Let's do that real quick together. I ask you, humbly, the universe, to protect Sebastian Rogers with all of our love, with all of our care. Bring him to a place that there is recognition that he could be found. Show us what we need to see in our lives. Help these people, these investigators, to pick up the true scent of Sebastian and bring resolve. Please, I ask for true justice and protection of Sebastian Rogers. In Jesus' name I ask these things. Amen. I just want this so bad. It's hard because I believe we can. We can literally do this with energy, just so much power and energy to keep getting the voice stronger, keep getting it out there, keep getting those flyers out there, keep saying his name. Say my name, say my name. If you ain't acting shady, why aren't you calling me your baby? Say my name, say my name. I love you all. To the moon and back.